Hey, I'm Sean Sims of Waterfowl Widowmakers. I got Troy here. We're fixing to do a 2 down the shore concept. They have to go past an old fall, pick up the bird over a point, pretty meaty little setup, and then we're gonna run 2 blinds when we get done, and we'll see what the boy can do. I've got 2 assistants out here throwing. We're gonna throw the long bird and then the short bird. They have to pick up the short one and then go back, stay in the water to go get the long one. You got a couple of different options if you're training by yourself. One, there's launcher equipment, wingers and that sort of stuff. If you have access to them, they're great. If not, what I do is I set the dog here at the bucket and I get on my 4-wheeler and I ride out there. I throw them. We're working on steadying, all that sort of stuff, while the dog has to sit here and be patient with all that action going on, working on memory. Then I'll come back and we'll run the dog. Guns up. Sit. You're first, Tanya. Here. Troy. No, sir. Attaboy. Some of these hard driving dogs, the short birds are harder for them to pick up. They want to go out there for the long birds. Yes. Where's your mark? Sit right there. Troy. You want the dog to go in a straight line. If this dog ran the bank to go all the way around there to that point, there may be a lot of cover, decoys, whatever, that hold them up and they actually never make it around to the other end. If they go in a straight line, they're gonna get to the bird eventually. A lot of your wood duck holes and swamps and that sort of stuff, it's such a jungle when they get around there, they just get lost and they can't get back to where the bird is. I want them to pick it up on their own. As long as they're within 15, 20 yards, I'm gonna let them hunt. That's what they're due. Their nose is better than me, especially if you have a crippled bird, that sort of stuff, and it's moved 15, 20 yards. They can find it better with their nose than I can try to handle them to it in the Troy boy. He was getting so far out of the area then, I wasn't sure he would be able to recover on his own, so I'm gonna put him back in the area and let him work on it again. There we go. Patience is the biggest thing in dog training. It doesn't matter if you're starting with a puppy or the big dog, patience. When you do correct a dog, you correct them for lack of effort, not for making a mistake. We all make mistakes. I'd be in trouble if somebody hit me in the head with a 2x4 every time I made a mistake. It's lack of effort. That dog was giving me effort, so I want to give him every opportunity to come up with it on its own. Heel. Come on, heel, heel, sit, get. All right, we're gonna run 2 blinds now. I've got one in that treetop over there. So it's over the old fall, which is another concept that we sit. I know we were throwing bumpers just then, but if we were throwing ducks, that would add scent on the ground. In a hunting scenario, 8 out of 10 ducks are gonna fall in the decoys. When you do have that winged bird go down a couple of 100 yards out there, the dog has to know to drive through the decoys, the scent, all that sort of stuff, and go on out there. So that's the scenario we got here. Bumper landed right there in the cover. We're gonna run right back over the old fall and get out there and see if he can root this out. Come here, big boy. Here. Sit. Dead bird. Right here. Here. Dead. Right there. Back. When you're running a blind, you want to keep them as tight as possible to the line. The further you let a dog get off a blind on the way to the blind, the harder it is to recover. So keep them fairly tight on that line. Heel, sit, give, dead bird. Here, here, here. Good, right there. Back. No, sir, here. We call that cheating. Heel, sit. I want him to get in the water. That goes back to what we were discussing earlier. Get in the water and carry that straight line. Obviously, it's quicker to let him run the bank, but we want to keep him in a straight line. If I don't know exactly where that bird is out there, I just know within 20 yards, I need to keep that dog tight. That way when he gets there, he can wind it and do his job from that point. Mine is to get him to that bird or in that area. Right now I know exactly where that bumper's laying. Hunting scenario, I may only know 10 or 15 yards where it is, so I got to get him close, but if I let him get further away, it's going to be harder for me to get him back to where he needs to be. Troy. That's a perfect example of what happens with the correction. There was no collar correction, all I did was call him back. But he took that as a correction, that's why he went fat into the water. He was going to get out and cheat on the way back. These dogs learn just as much on the return, I feel, as they do on the way out. So if we're going to hold the standard for them to go stay in the water and go down the shore to pick this bird up on the way out, we also need to hold that standard on the way back. If you allow them to cheat, so to speak, on the way back, how are they going to know the difference? Heel, heel, sit, give.